Hi friends! Welcome back to the Project Return online classroom. I'm Miss Celia, and if you couldn't tell, today's video is going to have a little bit more somber and serious of a tone because I wanted to talk about what this month means. Yes, it is the month of October, but October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So every single year, October is dedicated to spreading information and awareness about domestic violence. Domestic violence is also referred to as intimate partner violence and occurs within a domestic setting such as in a relationship, in a marriage, or inside the household. It can be by a partner, parents, siblings, extended families like aunts, uncles, or grandparents, or child, or anybody that is within the home can be abused or an abuser. Domestic violence takes a number of forms, including physical violence like choking, hitting, biting, or beating, sexual abuse or rape, emotional or verbal abuse like belittling or controlling, or financial control that prevents the individual from acting financially on their own. Just a little bit about the prevalence of domestic violence. In 2020, 1 in 4 women were experiencing severe intimate partner violence physically, and 1 in 9 men were experiencing it as well. They were experiencing intimate partner physical violence, contact sexual violence, or intimate partner stalking that results in injury or fear. 1 in 7 women and 1 in 25 women will be physically injured from an intimate partner. And 1 in 10 women have been reported of being raped by an intimate partner. There's not data available for males, but I'm sure that the prevalence is much higher than it should be, that's for sure. I want to present you with some warning signs, things to look out for. I'm going to first give you things to look out for if you think somebody is a victim, and then things to look out for if you think somebody is an abuser. If you think somebody is a victim, things to look out for include physical injuries with likely a weak or inconsistent explanation. So this person probably repeatedly has had multiple black eyes, multiple bruises on their arms, and their explanations for it kind of just don't make sense, or they're the same thing over and over again. Black eyes, bruises on the arms or neck, sprained wrists or broken bones. This individual may try to cover up their injuries inappropriately, for example, wearing sunglasses indoors to cover up a black eye, or wearing scarves or long sleeve sweaters in the summer when it's hot out to cover up bruises on the arms or the neck. Emotional signs of a domestic abuse victim include that the individual is easily agitated and anxious or has depression symptoms. They have changes in their sleep habits, or you notice them developing a substance use disorder. They seem to be extremely apologetic, oftentimes really fearful, especially fearful of confrontation. They have low self-esteem, again, symptoms of depression, and they reference in their speech or have attempted suicide in the past. Some behavioral signs of a domestic abuse victim include becoming very reserved and distant from people around them, so they isolate themselves from the people around them. They cancel plans and appointments last minute with seemingly no explanation, or they seem to drop out of activities that they previously enjoyed. They show signs of fear, or they are often late to work or plans and cannot justify it. Victims oftentimes are being controlled by their abusers, so they might come up with very weak explanations for their behavior or their attitude, and it may not seem to make sense, and oftentimes your gut is correct. When you think something doesn't make sense, you're probably right. Some signs of an abuser is that this individual will bully, threaten, or control you. And they can do this in a number of ways. They can oftentimes blame an individual for their own abuse, blame you for your own abuse that you're experiencing from them, which we know is ridiculous. They criticize you regularly, control your appearance, what you wear, how you cut your hair, what color your hair and your clothes are, and stuff like that. They threaten to harm you when they don't get their way, or they do harm you when they don't get their way. They control your finances by keeping money from you, not giving you any money that you make, or not even letting you leave the house to go to work. They steal from you, or they don't give you money for basic needs like clothing, food, stuff like that. This partner can also sometimes cut themselves and cut yourself off from your family and friends, so you have to keep close tabs with this individual. You have to let them know where they are, when you're going, who you're with. You have to ask permission to see people, see your friends and your family. They can oftentimes embarrass you in front of other people just for no reason. Or they force you to cancel plans with friends or family regularly. They also oftentimes physically or emotionally or sexually abuse you. For example, they may abandon you in places that you're unfamiliar with. They may attack you, especially with weapons. They may keep you from eating, sleeping, or getting medical care, lock you inside or lock you outside of the home, or physically assaulting you, such as kicking, punching, bruising, biting, choking, pulling hair, or otherwise. And then again, sexual abuse is often a common factor in domestic violence and intimate partner violence, and that includes forcing an individual to have sex against their will, forcing an individual to act provocatively when they don't want to, so against their will, making an individual feel like they owe him sex, or making you feel like you owe your partner sex, or they don't and refuse to wear protection when they know that they have an STD, an STI, or some kind of sexually transmitted disease that they don't want to protect you from. Domestic violence and intimate partner violence have a huge impact on victims for the rest of their lives. Men and women who are victims of domestic violence and intimate partner violence are more likely to become victimized in the future. Mental, physical, and reproductive health risks are associated with being a victim of intimate partner violence. For example, issues with pregnancy like miscarriaging or stillbirth, abdominal pain, hemorrhaging, neurological disorders, chronic pain, broken bones, repeated injury, and also mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, PTSD, and these individuals are also much more likely to develop a substance abuse disorder. And then it impacts the people around them as well. Children that are involved in a home with intimate partner violence or domestic violence are more likely to become victimized themselves, become victims of domestic violence in the future, or continue the cycle and become abusers themselves. Children oftentimes mimic and learn from their parents and what's around them. So if a child sees somebody hitting another person, oftentimes they're going to think that's okay, and they're going to grow up and do the exact same thing. So if you suspect that a friend, a loved one, a family member, or somebody around you is a victim of domestic violence or intimate partner violence, my suggestion to you is to sit them down privately and express your concerns. Explain to them what's making you concerned and why it's concerning. Let the individual know that you're there for them, and your conversations between the two of you will always remain private. You're not going to share anything with the suspected abuser. Listen to what they have to say and what they want. Oftentimes you have to support the person regardless of whether or not they feel like they can leave or not, because victims are made to feel as though they don't have the resources or the capability to leave their abusers. So oftentimes they just need the support and to be reminded that you are a resource that they can use to help them leave their abuser, and that'll mean a lot more to them than just calling the police. That being said, if you suspect violence within somebody's home, absolutely call the police. There's also a domestic violence hotline. I'll flash the number on the screen right now. The number is 1-800-799-7233. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233. You can call in anonymously to report what you suspect to be domestic violence or intimate partner violence, and they will contact the proper authorities and try to have the situation resolved. Again, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so if you suspect that somebody around you is a victim of domestic violence, please contact somebody, let somebody know, and talk to that victim. Let them know that they are not alone and that you are here for them. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. I hope I was able to shed some light on domestic violence, what it is, some warning signs, and what to do about it. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully a little bit more cheery of a video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.